Coming down to a very basic point now that we were talking about money. Uh, so, although Aditi would be, I think, jumping on a seat to answer that question first, but again, we'll move in the order with the
No,
David,
no,
Aditi, and
please,
Chitra.
please pass it on. Please pass it on to Aditi.
No, 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 no. We will follow the order because the question which had come to me was that how can one be an entrepreneur without money? Let's just say like or very less money. When we say without money, it's like no, most of the people think that I don't
Right,
have funds or I don't have sufficient funds. So how can I be an entrepreneur? What is
right,
and
right,
also what is the difference that you see in leadership styles of past and future? So
right.
David,
Well,
start with you.
yeah, what happens is whether you have money or no money, whether you lack in something or not, one of the key things I want most of the audience to understand is there is a disease out there called excusitis. It's the worst cancer that is available in the marketplace. Lack of money is also an excusitis. Like I mentioned earlier, when I came here, I didn't have any clients. Clients are required to generate a business. When you go to business, you don't have money. In an entrepreneurship journey, yes, we're going to start with limited funds, but start with what you have. Start with your skill set. That's your bottom line. You have something there that is of value. Start with that skill set. Then you have a network within yourself, an inner circle of family. Approach them to see how much you can get some money from them in a loan basis and utilize it sparingly, which means find a good guy who can do the budgeting for you. One of the key aspects in entrepreneurship is you're very good, the entrepreneur is very good in his domain expertise. But when it comes to all the peripherals, there is a weakness. So do not go and try to look for those weaknesses to be addressed. Outsource them. When you outsource those areas, you will then find as an entrepreneur, you can focus on what you want to do, get it up as fast as possible so you can generate the money that you need. That's the bottom line. So, first thing, work with your skill. Second thing, make sure you have a limited circle that you can draw some income from or some revenue from. More importantly, from that, build a network that you can then go and start looking at financial help, crowdfunding. Go looking for those avenues. You won't know that if you're sitting in a little cubicle trying to figure out to become an entrepreneur. You got to get out. For crying out loud, I flew 4,500 kilometers to get to a place called India and in a place called Chandigarh to start my coaching business. And I never knew a word of Hindi. So what you got to understand is you make it, yeah. The other thing that's important is you now got to join a circle. Make sure you're building a network. I'm a firm believer of this. Your environment is vital. Make sure the network that is hanging around you is non-toxic,
Yeah.
especially if you're building an environment of entrepreneurial skills. If there is somebody in your family that's pushing you down, try to avoid that. You cannot afford that now. I am
Yeah.
sorry to be so blunt. Coaches are blunt, okay? So you need to avoid that. The key element is then look at collaborating with somebody who has skills and at the same time who you can share the skills with. And your skill plus that skill gives you like 1 plus 1 equals 11, not 2. And that's the key element you got to look at how you collaborate and you leverage on that. So, those 7 elements that I just covered should be able to give you some idea of what you can do.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's not about just taking the toxicity out of your body, but also out of your mind.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. So, what all fears of entrepreneurship are there, and what is missing in creating pipeline of leaders for future for many corporates? So, we'll quickly round it up. David, Aditi, and then Chipra, please.
Yeah.
Okay. The basic fear is uncertainty. And most people are concerned entrepreneurship from the perspective of what's on the other side. Now, my perspective is you'll never get the answer 100%. What you need to do is what I call a Benjamin Franklin close. You weigh the situation. If this is what you want to do, you get the pros and cons and you weigh the situation using your own intelligence to figure that out. And then I would personally connect with a number of people to figure out whether that option is viable. Like minded people, not people of different levels.
Yeah.
Through that process, I make a decision. I make the decision, not collective decision. And what that allows you then is to surge forward on a passion that you are wanting to pursue. Entrepreneurship is about making sure your passion is driven to the fullest, with or without the support, preferably with the support of your family and all the others. And most of them will support you if you've got that gung ho view.
Yeah.
Now, that is the aspect of getting over your fear. The area of leadership, my perspective is gone are the days of the old leaders who are autocratic, democratic, and very laissez faire. That style of leadership is gone. Today, when you're
Yeah.
working with the millennium generation, okay, we have a challenge from our perspective. Those in the baby boomer category have a challenge. They need to now figure out how can they adapt. So the key element here of ensuring that you can succeed in your entrepreneurship is adaptability. You cannot be stringent and say, this is all I want to do. Why? Because the millennium generation are more flexible. I mean, if some of you have heard Simon Smick's video on the millennium experience, you will understand. Some of them within 4 or 5 months of getting in a company, they're saying, I'm not making an impact here, so I want to move.
Yeah.
Okay, but you would not see that 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. Why?
Yeah.
Because the whole mindset there was longevity, sustainability, whereas that's not here anymore. So that type of a thinking needs to go on. We need to also look at how we can get it global. So the fear factor comes into globalization. Now, globalization has been great if people can handle it. But if your awareness is not there, how are you going to get globalization? So the first thing is to go and get awareness into place. And that is why networking is so vital. See, these are all interwoven, and most people don't see that. They see that as silos. Okay. So when you can interact, when you can network, as an example, 45% of my client base contacts now come from abroad. Okay, and that's not because I'm doing keynote speaking. They were coming from abroad, from people who have been in India and gone abroad. So, if you're starting a new business, for example, and if you're an entrepreneur in that, and if you're not focused on looking at how you can take this to the next country, you're gone. Seriously, you're gone. So that aspect of fear, you need to get over that exposure. I call it, how do you get educated? Three ways: exposure, experience is the second way, and education. Most of us just focus on education and settle with it. But unless you have the experience, and experience comes when you role model with other people, and exposure comes when you go out and search, not just type in Google, go out and dig in the trenches. Typing GOOGLE and waiting for an answer to come is not the solution. And this is why most people don't move forward. Okay, and once we have that, the fear takes care of. We are getting our leadership skills as we progress. You're probably set in place, and the purpose comes only when you have that put in place. Now, once you get that, you cannot rest on your laurels and say, okay, I've done it. You have to now continuously keep cutting. The cutting edge comes there. That's where this principle of cutting edge comes in. Your cutting edge comes when you constantly keep adding to it and fine sharpening your pencil. For example, you take a pencil, you write the pencil, after a few seconds of writing, it goes blunt. You got to sharpen it. The same thing, you have to cut your edge constantly. Only when we have all of that put together can we then say we are a skillful entrepreneur with the right leadership skills, and we can move forward.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. I think we have so many takeaway notes with us now that we can actually, I think all of our viewers who are like ready to, who are thinking, in fact, in their mind of moving ahead and starting, either upskilling their business skills or their job front. I think they will be all, thinking like, why is it Saturday? I should have like started just tomorrow or today, in fact. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of you, and staying with us. And thank you, our viewers, for coping up with us. For wish we had a little more time, and I'm sure sooner we'll have, another session with all of you. It's been very, very informative session, I must say. I've enjoyed, and I'm sure our our viewers have enjoyed it as well. So now the key points which I've gathered, I think we can just take a quick recap that get over your inhibitions. That's so right. It was point raised by David that, the sooner you get over your inhibitions, your, like that mindset that I lack so and so, I lack the language or geographical location or any XYZ. Just get over that and learn management skills at early age, be it your money management or wherever you want to excel in. Learn those skills. Those are very important. And labor, I really, really like that luck. Labor under correct knowledge. That's the luck that we all need. And we all need that. Yes, definitely. And actions call for reactions. What a wonderful takeaway. And as you said, behavioral skills, that it's not just the intellectual or the emotional quotient, but also the financial, spiritual, and social quotient, which are like all equally important. Self belief is the key. Do not get under the fear that I'm going to start something, a new beginning, be it in the business or in the job. Have self belief, behave like a leader, think like a leader if you want to be a leader. Again, work on your mindset, surround yourself with not just positive people, but also get into increasing your network, increasing your peripheria, so that you are surrounded by right kind of people who can take you ahead in the journey. Don't just walk alone, walk with with your tribe. The tribe can take you much longer, way ahead. And exposure, experience, and education all together can definitely take you to leap something. Thank you so much. What a wonderful session. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you, viewers, for giving the time.